welcome back for the second series on the LCS Game Changers broadcast. Once again, I'm Camcom with Pastry Time today. Everything is good.
Everything's great. It's been a wonderful day so far. A surprising result to kick us off here, which is kind of the way we want to start day number 3. I honestly thought we were in trouble and gonna get kind of a little boring. Standings kind of seem really determined. Not much to play for. We're just kind of scaling to LA. But no, it's been maximum excitement. Serenity coming out swinging, taking out the Astro Cats. They're now on a slide, and we'll see them in a series because now it's Serenity's turn to try and aim for that 4-0 up against Arcana. That will be our next matchup.
Speaking of Arcana, let's take a quick look here at where we're looking at today. You kind of spoiled it already, but Serenity versus Arcana is our next up matchup here. And then Arcana taking on the Astro Cats. Astro Cats do not want to go 0-4 today, that is for sure. So we'll be looking to them to not go 4-0 and then 0-4. But now, speaking of Arcana, looking at their roster, for the first time of today, you have Aquatic in the top lane, Empy as your jungler, Ayukur in the mid lane, Ryle as your AD carry, and Shirley in support, and the beautiful duo of Summer and Gabrielle's coach and manager combined, or not combined, respectively. And again, Arcana is in fact partnered with NRG.
And we saw them already, but in case you're new just joining us, here is the roster of Serenity. Shysept in the top lane playing Nasus of all champions in our last game. Shapeshift in the jungle, scaling up, playing ganking junglers, looking good. Miss Timu, who we just heard from, Yumichi in the bottom lane, and Heloisa, their support. Coach Macros and manager Perchance. Team's got to be feeling good, especially I feel like Coach Macros is like, oh goodness, it's all coming together. They're listening to me finally. I don't know if I assume they listen to their coach, but my assumption is that every coach assumes their team is just a squad of petulant children that won't listen to the babysitter. So that's my interpretation of how Macros is going. But the result of Macros's coaching and the team's work is a fundamentally standout looking team. We even heard it from Miss Timu saying that I think of the 3 teams, we're the one that is best at playing scaling, and I think that's true from the games we've watched. They just need to get better at playing early game. They've smoothed out a lot of their early game and did such an exceptional job in that series identifying where they could find gains and then taking over mid games and winning from there. So I'm curious to see if the pace increases at all, because Arcana is a tricky team to pin down. They have a lot of different ways they can approach the game. They have won on about as many different champions as Ryle has played.
Yep, Ryle so far in her 8 games overall has played 8 different champions, so we'll look to see if that continues for today. But yeah, I mean, you're talking about the interview that we just had with Miss Timu, Serenity's mid laner. But again, the mentality and the mental that we have seen from Serenity, not even just today, but from all 3 weeks, it's just 1 to none, right? If you're losing so many games, they were previously 2-6. Now they're 4. I'm gonna double check this. Yeah, now they're 4-6. 2-6 is hard, right? Mentally wise, that is hard to come from 2-6, and now all of a sudden, first game of today, you're up against Astro Cats. Now you're 2-0. Now, if mental was hard before and you were already playing that strong, mental is even better now, and you're still playing that strong up against Arcana, which is still a very scary opponent. Yeah,
I'm curious to see how Arcana look, because again, I think the theme of every week, and this will be very true next week, is how the team's improving, but we got a little something before we get there.
Little something before we get there. If you remember last week, Serenity had a little bit of a mic check. This week we have a little bit of a mic check from them again. Let's take a look.
The first spot I pull up is not versus Arcana. So,
Okay.
Bench.
Nah, bro. That's Happy.
We're ready, right? Yeah, okay, cool.
Yeah, we're good.
Cool.
Why did
Oh
we
my
do this?
god, you meet and I made the same typo?
Oh my god.
The synergy.
Oh my god, we're in sync. Let's go.
Is that meat?
Meat.
Yo,
Yeah.
Guys, not Ezreal Rengar. How can we lose?
Yeah,
Looking now.
She does not walk up ever.
Veg,
I'm
bro.
gonna go to this.
Dragon's no ulti.
Not even bad. They're super low. Just leave. We got everything
Oh.
on. Okay.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
Oh my
They're
god,
here.
Okay, thing. Ezreal's here.
Oh, I need to run.
Connected.
Connected. Okay.
I mean,
I don't have to play Renekton, let's fucking go.
Yeah.
Ready?
Yeah.
Whatever.
Go. huge. Good job.
Nice. That's so huge.
Alright, we can do Drake.
Look Vayne, look Vayne, look Vayne.
I look fine.
Where the heck is she?
Vayne's
out of
out,
fight.
Vayne's
Vayne's out of
Vayne's
fight.
out.
Wrong first. Wrong first.
Wait, okay, okay.
Play with me. You play with me. I'll peel you. I'll peel you.
Keep going, keep running them down.
Go, 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 go.
Shuffle in 3.
Come on, guy. Okay, that's fine. Do Baron, do
Nice.
Baron, do Baron, do Baron, do Baron, do Baron, do Baron.
Baron times 100 strikes again.
I love the Baron times 100. It's my favorite part of the whole video.
How is he supposed to take Baron?
I don't know. If you don't scream Baron, nobody's gonna actually auto the Baron, honestly. If you want to actually analyze the video and use our brains here, I think
that.
I don't know. Or we could just not. Never mind. No.
No, you do what you want to do. I'm just saying,
Okay.
like, I'm already opting my brain out because it's not going to be helpful.
They, during the team fight, especially on the Baron that we're moving a little bit about, right? Like, they had good target selection and they had good target calling throughout the team fight. And the fact that it was quiet, I actually want to say is kind of a good thing. Like, you could clearly hear the comms of this is who we're targeting, right? Like, sometimes teams, everybody's screaming something different, right? But the fact that it was only one person screaming one thing, I think is actually kind of a good thing.
I think so too. I mean, comms videos are often fun because, like, they're naturally kind of frantic and hectic at times. But I think, like, there's a level of like hype and discipline you have to try and find, and I do think from just hearing that, obviously, you know, they're selecting the clips themselves. We didn't get to hear everything, and I'm sure there's some madness in some of the trickier moments in the game. But yeah, it does seem like they're you know, energetic enough to encourage players to do what they need to be doing, but clear enough that everyone knows what they're doing. There was actually at least one team I can think of in memory back in Oceania that actually specifically decided to not comp team fights at all, because they just found it too tricky for them. So they just relied on the innate synergy and understanding of the players, and they just actually intentionally like dropped comms for those moments so players could focus. So definitely different things work for different teams, but it's cool to hear some insight by listening to the players when they're playing their games.
I'm looking at this Twisted Fate ban, and I'm secretly getting really excited. I know Stevie Lil loves when I mention them, so I'm going to mention Stevie Lil again here.
Hey.
Historically, I think it was Tenones actually that's really, really good at the Twisted Fate map Galio type of playstyle, right? Where you hit level 6 and you're just never in mid lane ever again. And that's been a really popular pick in past years of CB LoL. I would love to see that type of playstyle again. I have not seen it in any other tournament outside of that. So if we get to see some Twisted Fate, I mean, obviously, wait, no. No,
I see what happened now.
I've been trolled.
I see what happened now.
Production doesn't like me today. This is unlucky.
Well, I can confirm that they're not
I
trolling
got
you.
so excited.
There was a slight mistake because the champions are close together in the alphabet, as you may imagine. It is instead of the Sweet Twisted Fate ban. And you know what? I'm glad we mentioned CB LoL and Twisted Fate, because Twisted Fate's an absolute banger OG champion.
Such a fun champion.
Twitch is banned. And Ryle, once again, is not going to be getting her hands on the Rat Poppy band as well. Rel, unsurprisingly, also banned from Heloisa. And there's Azir, Jax, and Akali. Ayakura continuing to get Akali banned away from her also. I think there was one window where Akali was available and it wasn't picked, which made me very sad. But generally has been basically perma-banned away from Ayakura as Jarvan continues to show presence in B1. And this is something that is not only pretty normal for how this meta is, how strong Jarvan is in the champion, but I think this is such a great it's like a little allegory for the growth that this team has gone over, for Shapeshift especially, right? Because this is a champion that Shapeshift coming into this tournament was not comfortable playing. So pushing themselves out of their comfort zone, now piloting the Jarvan much better than I think they would admit themselves in the earlier parts of the tournament. This is looking like a well-oiled team. This is looking like a team that's going to go 4-0, and Jarvan's definitely a part of that.
I'm sad. I have no more thoughts in
Still
brain.
sad. I get it. I understand.
No, but yeah, you know, Ryle, she got the Twitch game 1, day 1
Why?
is when the Twitch was. Yep, I'm gonna double check that real quick. Yep, game 1, day 1 was Ryle's Twitch, and it has been banned literally every single game against her since then.
Yes.
As a reminder, she went 3, 4, and 13 in that game, which, I mean, isn't the best AD carry like KD you've ever seen in your life, right? But the fact that she was just a monster in the bot lane, right? Like, the enemy bot lane that game just didn't get to play bot lane. Even if the KD doesn't get to show it, if you watch the VOD, if you watch the game, you definitely saw that Ryle was very scary on the Twitch. So, out of respect, will be continue to be banned throughout the tournament, I am assuming.
Yep.
And you did talk a little bit about the Vi. I'm gonna say this is probably another ball delivery kind of comp that not Serenity is drafting this time, but it's actually for Arcana. And Ayukura again is the other Orianna that I was kind of saying we're gonna see seeing a lot of Orianna between Mistimo and Ayukura here.
Ooh, Nico.
Please don't let this be a mistake. I would love to see a Nico.
Nico. We'll have to see. That's probably top if I had to guess, but I guess it could be mid as well. Definitely some flexibility there for the pick, as we'll see what Arcana wants to answer with. Vi, I think a new champion to this event, at least. I don't think we've seen Vi so far in LCS Game Changers, but a champion that's pretty well known. There's Camille there for Aquatic, so completing the top half of the map. And curious to see how MP does. MP has been on a ton of different utility and tank junglers. Vi, I think, is riding the line a little bit more between like having some personal agency and being not quite a carry, but more of a proactive, less tanky, like I guess bruiser, let's say. So Epic should still be able to set up for their team, but also make some plays themselves. And I do like picking something proactive. I think against Jarvan, you can't really afford to just sit back and farm. Jarvan's gonna like run circles around you if you let that happen.
I think that's Renekton ban, not a Renekton pick.
Probably, given where we are.
Yeah. But Arcana has, mostly with the Vi and Camille locked in here, I think they're definitely going for more of a pick comp than a team fight comp here. And I'm liking that Serenity is not directly matching them in that. In fact, they're going a completely different route of full wombo combo, full just circle. Like, you hit all the circles together in a semi-good way, and that's going to be a pretty easy team fight win for them. Like, that's what a wombo combo team fight is supposed to be. I'm probably going to agree with you. This probably is not going to be an AP Nico. I think recently, right, it has been a lot more, I guess, AD attack speed, Nico, something along those lines, but her ultimate is still going to be very helpful in setting up Cataclysm, quickness, probably whatever other wombo combo they pick later.
Yeah, it's funny. It's not because I don't think Nico isn't good mid. In fact, I think most of the Nico games I've seen this season have been mid. It's just like Nico strikes me as a Shicep champion and not necessarily a Mistino champion. So it's pure vibes that I'm making this guess on. We'll see, obviously, as the team kind of goes through. And I think it's a testament to this team that I'm even considering it as a flex, because maybe Nico actually isn't that common a flex, but I'm willing to give Serenity the credit, so maybe Arcana are as well. Xayah, though, does get banned. Ashe gets banned as well. There's some more AD carries leaving the pool, and Renekton banned away from Shicep, which is kind of funny given that Shicep doesn't like playing Renekton, even though she's good on the champion. And there's Kai'Sa, the final ban here. So a lot of the top tier AD carries going to be pushed out. In fact, there's no ADs picked yet at all. So it's going to be slim pickings for the remaining ADs here. Ryle and Yumichi going to have to dig deep. Although for Ryle, that's not going to be a problem.
I was going to say that's not a problem here for Ryle. I think she's picked all of these AD carries, maybe except for Kai'Sa so far. So in reality, they've only actually been one AD carry away from Kai'Sa, plus whatever they decide to lock in here. And
hey, look,
it is
Ezreal.
going to be that Ezreal. So once again, we're going 9 for 9. One different champion for every game so far for Ryle. Congratulations. He gets to continue the streak. As you did mention, Nico can be flexed top and mid. I'm going to make an argument that at one point in time she could actually be flexed in all 5 roles. I've definitely played her in all 5 roles. I don't know if that's actually super good or not, but you know what? It is definitely fun to do. Yumichi, second game in a row, going to be locking in that vein again.
Remember when I talked about how this is an old matchup, that the only one I knew about? It's cool to see Yumichi revisit it here. I think more than anything is just feeling the vein. And I think after the last series, and the last game especially, I don't blame her. But you do get some purchase here against Ezreal. Ezreal's the kind of champion that wants to stay at arm's length and poke you, and turns out Tumble is good at both closing distance and dodging skill shots. So it lines up nicely against how Ezreal wants to fight against you, although I will say his current W can make things a bit tricky as far as trading goes, and Yumichi will have to play very well in and out of lane to make the champion work. However, that is exactly what we saw in the last game, so I'm certainly there with the confidence, as I am now very confused. Oh, please be top lane Jarvan. That's so funny if it's top lane Jarvan.
No, but like, where are these champions going?
I don't know.
Arcana's think the same exact thing right now. They're going to still end up locking that Brahmin, but I mean...
I like Braum here.
We're about to see where these champions are going in a couple of seconds, I hope. Ooh, top. Okay. You know, I probably, if I really wanted to guess, I could have guessed this lineup for Serenity, but I didn't really want to. I was kind of hoping there's going to be something more interesting, maybe like a Rakan mid, J4 support with the Airy, that kind of fun thing, but not quite to that spiciness levels.
Yeah, I actually would weirdly like this more if they had a way to take a pick away from MP, but MP actually already picked the jungler as soon as the picks got passed over. So if there was some world where you can play Xin and J4 on the same team and take two top tier junglers away, that's a really cool drafting and maybe something that we'll notice more from Serenity as the games go on. As far as like matchup goes, I don't think Jarvan like turbo stomps Camille or anything. I think it's mostly just another pick to help the fights. And let me tell you, if it's AD Jarvan especially, which there is a very famous LCS game featuring an AD Jarvan, it might be absolute hell for the carries of Arcana. Because if that Jarvan is ahead and dunking you with the Cataclysm, it is a miserable play experience. And even if it's not, even if it's like more standard bruisery, like tankier Jarvan, still going to be a very disruptive force. So I do like that Shysept once again is willing to use her flexibility as a player. I mean, we've talked about Rao's unique champions. I don't know what Shysept's up to. I'm pretty sure she's played at least one champion 2 times, but it is close between those two players as far as number of uniques go.
Yeah, that is exactly what I was about to say. Shysept has by far and away the most variety out of all 3 top laners here in the LCS Game Changers this year, where she has played no champion 2 times in a row, whereas both the other top laners here have played champions 2 times in a row, multiple times even. So she's played Rengar top, she's played Valamir top, she's played Alawi top. I think she's the only person that's got to play Jax. And then of course the Singed and Sion, and now NG4 top here as well. So we've got a lot of more non-standard top laners that Shysept has played, and she's played a lot of them with, I would say, pretty high comfort from what we've been able to watch from her.
Oh yeah, she's been an absolute delight. Shysept's such a fun player. Also, streams, I believe Miss Timo was talking about her stream. Shysept is a streamer as well, so highly recommend tuning into the streams if you ever get a spare moment. Luckily for you, if you did want to check out those streams, you can just watch this one right here because they're both playing. It's like 2 streams for the price of 1.
Maybe even 3 streams, depending on what else. I think does Ryle stream? I could be wrong on that. There's definitely at least one other person. Shapeshift streams. No, Shapeshift for sure streams.
You know how you can find that out if you go to the Game Changers Twitter accounts. Go ahead and investigate some of those players, see if they have some streams you maybe could watch. Wouldn't that be something?
Shapeshift definitely posts a lot of YouTube videos and Twitter clips of her getting world records with clearing or just teaching people how to clear with new champions. I know that she posted very recently a Briar jungle clear.
Hell
so
yeah.
if you're interested in that, definitely look towards Shapeshift for that type of information.
Aquatic getting level 2 and getting some damage done there into the top lane. I'm actually pretty curious to see how mid lane continues to play out because we know both Miss Timo and Ayakura are very competent Orianna players, and Miss Timo is kind of being pushed to a different champion. She's kept it pretty tight as far as champion pool goes, which I think is certainly good to see. And very competent on the picks that she's clearly comfortable on. So cool to see her in against a champion she obviously knows very well and said herself she's comfortable on. Kind of playing, not necessarily a counter matchup here, but getting a counter pick here and seeing how she can navigate the lane because she has been quietly quite good in lane, especially scaling throughout the tournament. Again, gapping Fairy Girl at least a little bit in CS is no small feat.
Absolutely not. MP showing her face. Secretly showing her face here, or their face, in the mid lane first. Miss Timo, not sure where MP is, but I mean, Miss Timo doesn't scream to me that she's about to start pushing out anytime soon, but very low HP, flash for flash, root underneath the turret. MP, in fact, is going to be the one that ends up losing out on that trade, flash for flash, but both of them will be forced to recall. Really nice double knock up there by Lucia, but with a level 2 Vayne, not a whole lot you can really do to follow up on that.
Like a pixel or 2 away from MP getting caught under the tower, but does not get caught, and instead Miss Timo is going to TP back in. I'm going to imagine Ayakura is going to pop her TP as well. Does get it done, as Shysept now pushing, actually. That is a big wave built up. Aquatic going to respect it here and wait till it crashes in, and then go ahead and collect these. Should be able to get most of them. Camille is pretty good at last hitting.
Cheater.
But it is a cheater recall. Hey Camcom, how about for the people at home who may not know, what's a cheater recall?
Oh, I'm so glad you asked here. Cheater recall is when you stack 3 waves, last third wave being a cannon wave, and then you crash that wave underneath the enemy turret, and then you recall and you walk back to lane for free without TPing. And it's been dubbed a cheater recall because it feels like there's no counterplay against it. Yes.
Notably, even though you can do it in all 3 lanes, it is at its maximum effectiveness in top lane because it's a long lane
Yes.
that's a 1v1. A little harder to have a big wave build up on those 2 champions hitting the minions in mid's obviously quite short. As Miss Timo going to be in strife again. No flash this time. Ayakura going on in, but no ulties. But here's the interrupting Brom. Surely going to make sure that kill goes down, and they're going to donate it over to Ayakura.
First blood picked up there by, really, I would say all 3 members of Arcana, right? Like, they worked really well. They had the communication between MP and Shirley to be there at the exact right time, at the exact same time as each other as well. And they knew as well, probably timing Miss Timo's flash, right? They knew it was down and knew not a whole lot that she can really do to get away from that one. If that was just, 30 seconds later, could have also turned that into the first dragon for Arcana as well.
Yeah, also, I know we've mentioned it when we've seen Ezreal, but we haven't seen Ryle and Ezreal yet, of course. Unlocking that room somewhat by picking the champion that she picked. So nice of Shirley to use that recall timing and get some movement into the mid lane. I actually think it was maybe just Ryle that recalled, and I think it was a walk up from Shirley, who's continuing to play tag with her jungler. But in either case, a very well orchestrated first blood here. Give Ayakura a little bit of leverage here in lane. In fact, they liked it so much, they're going to do it again.
Hello, we are back again, Alosia. Might not be the target of them this time, though. Just trying to clear some vision around that pixel ward, and Shapeshift is having, or not Shapeshift, Miss Timo just trying to crush this wave and calls in Shapeshift. That's the words I'm looking for to help her do so. Exhaust popped on the Amici. We're all going to be forced to flash away there as well. A couple of summoners blown. You got Helosia's flash, plus the ghost from Amici, but Ryle, being the AD carry that she is, playing the Ezreal that she is, right? Going to be very difficult to actually kill her, even in the 1v2.
Yeah, didn't have Arcane Shift there, so Ryle did have to flash to get out of that situation. Does do so, finds a nice angle for it as well, but good pressure. And a worthwhile trade there for Serenity as Heloisa does get that flash off of her. Aquatic back here on the top side. It's double cull for these 2 top laners. That's kind of a fun one here. Oh my goodness, Ryle didn't build cull. Wait a second. Go back. How did this happen?
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I was going to say, I think week 1, Ryle was the only person buying coal consistently every game. Ooh, good
Banger
flash there by Ikura. Very nicely done there. But yeah, I think week 1, it was only Ryle consistently buying coal. The week 2, we saw a couple more people. And now today, we have seen, somebody every single game, at least so far. Ryle's only been in 1 game, but everybody's buying coal. Apparently now they have taken a liking to Ryle, or just taken a liking to their coaches, telling them, hey, maybe you should go coal some more here. Ikura does not have flash available. Shapeshift absolutely does. The shockwave does by a couple of seconds for Ayakura, but here comes the Nicole as well. Pop Blossom MP.
Good
no
enough.
flash to get away for you. Heloisia will be the one picking up that kill, and first dragon should be as good as Serenity's.
What an absolute fuego use of Zinzal W there with the flash, making sure to get the extra range, dashes on through. Doesn't get the initial target they were going for, but still gets a kill nonetheless. Going to even that gold right back up, and maybe given the opportunity to take this dragon. Looks like Serenity with the jungler on low health are going to go ahead and say that kill is good enough. They'll back off.
You know what? Serenity knows how to start objectives better than I do.
do. Yes, same.
So if they want to back off, they will almost certainly have another angle to start that dragon up in the next couple of minutes here. Once again, yet another excellent cheater recall showed off by Shicep. You see the massive wave and then crash on the cannon. Nothing Aquatic can really do unless she wants to lose that entire wave and burn the TP to get back.
Yeah, just be glad that there's no jungler, because that was certainly a wave you could have tried to connect to dive on. Obviously, players knew where Shapeshift was, because we last saw Shapeshift flashing near the mid-wave to give Serenity their first kill. So no danger there for Aquatic, but still nice to see Shicept dueling in the 1v1 and feeling pretty happy in the isolated situation, as Shapeshift going to go ahead take this top left crab. Do have that dragon still up and available, but it's going to be a battle for both objectives potentially here. Ayakura trying to clear this vision, but Miss Timo going to line up a snare, doesn't quite land it. Instead, it is going to be the objective started by Serenity.
Is on a ward though. Cataclysm on Ayakura. She does not have flash to get out of this one. Shapeshift not quite in range to actually follow up on that though. So Cataclysm potentially a little bit wasted. Ryle doesn't have flash, just in case anyone wanted to look for another engage. And I mean, that was a good engage by Shicep, but there's just not quite enough follow-up to actually make it work out.
Yeah, Shirley was the target, and Sport's usually pretty good champion to try and pick off, but Braum Unbreakable, pretty good skill, as we've talked about a number of times, especially when combined with his W stand behind me, so plenty of damage being blocked, plenty of resists, and not a whole lot they can do despite the nice angle found by Shycep. So at the end of the day, it is going to be Arcana, the ones to take the objective, happily grab that Herald for themselves.
Meanwhile, down here in the bot lane, the classic, do we go fight for the Rift Herald, or do we let our AD carry get many free plates here? As Yumichi made the decision to stay down here in the bot lane, got all of the plates gold that she could have wanted, all of the experience, all of the minion gold that she could have possibly wanted, right? Like, that is the choice that you have to make, and Arcana did end up picking up that first Rift Herald, but do lose out on a little bit of gold from the AD carry versus AD carry. Vacuum 1v1, I'm very scared something was going to happen there.
Yeah, they're not shy about trying to find angles in the 2v2 here. Nice to see Yumichi and Heloisa back on, I think, this exact combination. Rakan plus Vayne. Not a classic combination, I can say, because those champions' release dates are pretty dramatically far apart from each other, but top lane will hold that thought because it's empty. Roman on up, has level 6, is playing Vi. It's all coming together. Shycep in trouble. No flash, no hope. Hextake ultimatum. Get into the only ultimate needed. It's Aquatic grabbing a kill.
Really nicely done there by NB, and Shycep has been going for the same exact Cheetah Recall push for the past couple of minutes, but that time, like you said, if you have a jungler for either team, could be very punishing with that, though. You showed your jungler on the top lane for Arcana, does mean Serenity will be able to claim that first dragon, now uncontested, all for Shapeshift there for her. Mid lane has been surprisingly quiet.
Yes. I think this is definitely a push and roam kind of mid lane matchup. Unfortunately, lots of mid lane matchups feel like that these days. But Nico is definitely a champion that doesn't really want to chill in the 1v1. So Miss Teemo is going to put this into action by roaming down to the bottom half of the map. As Ryle is arcade shifting forward to try and clear the wave. There's the flash, but ill-advised, I would say, as that Nico ultimate's absolutely massive. And Shirley's going to go down as well, but Ryle found 2 kills from the grave.
The tower plus Ryo putting in work
in
that 2v3. Let's get a replay of that one real quick.
Look at this shift.
I know.
Alright, so Ryle's obviously dead.
Very few AD carries in the world there, I would
True
say,
Shot Barrage.
would shape shift forward, right? Like, I don't know if that was what earned her the double kill from the grave, right? But either way, I'm going to say it did. Results-based analysis. Shape-shifting forward gets you a double kill, apparently.
Well, I think she was trying to clear the wave or force the Vayne off, but obviously the dive's coming anyway. Granted, they did have to dive and actually face tank the tower, but it was actually a really nicely buffed True Shot Barrage that picks Ryle up to double kill. The first one actually gets the kill on the low health low health member. I don't remember which one it was. And then the tower does the rest on the person retreating. So Ryle did everything she could, gets 2 kills for her trouble, which honestly, pretty worth given the situation it ended up in. Just always funny to see Ryle's style in play in such a unique way, even on a champion as slippery and as mobile as Ezreal.
Absolutely, and Ryle does have a very small CS lead still in the bot lane here, as I think she and Yumichi have been in the bot lane pretty much the entirety of the game. The supports, on the other hand, have not. Right, they've been roaming around mid. We had a couple of Herald fights, Dragon fight a little bit as well, as we do have Infernal Dragon as our second dragon, so we might have a Cloud Soul again. Everybody's favorite soul might be coming back. Game number 3 for today, and we have another bot lane dive. Ryo is just not left alone at all this game.
Yeah, this time playing a bit more patiently, has teammates coming down, so it does not face check the wave, lets it move forward. It doesn't even crash actually, so Ryle just fine to go ahead and trim this up. True Shot Barrage, make sure it really thins out, and then can clear out the rest of the wave, and that is going to be the end of that play. I do like Serenity staying proactive, as looks like MP might have had the timer on the Rift Herald run and low, because it does drop it here in bottom lane. And they are going to rally Shapeshift back into this lane to try and stop it from crashing.
Plates, maybe? This is a possibility for plates. It's going to be very tight. Both junglers arrive in the bot lane, and yeah, the eye just showed in the exact right position to be popped before they popped any plates, but very scary. It's very much like waiting for something to happen instead of let's actually try to make something happen. Both the teams know these AD carries are always constantly on their toes.
Certainly so. As Miss Timo doing a pretty good impression here. Unfortunately, there is no cannon ever leading a wave, but tries to navigate into position. Maybe no one's paying attention. Never mind. Jigs up.
I was gonna say that's the best kiting caster minion I've ever seen.
Yeah, Custom Minion's going rogue. Leading the charge. I mean, I'm always excited for a high-value Nico play. That passive is extremely creative. I think most of the time it doesn't matter in competitive games. Like Nico kind of uses like the natural masking the passive gives her with a W and then sets up an ulti and everything's all good. But you never know. And Miss Timo at least going to give it a go there. Doing a little cosplay in the mid lane of the caster minion.
I definitely find it so funny when, you see those clips of like a pro player dying to a Nico cannon, right? Like, you think pro players wouldn't die to those things? And somehow it still happens every time. It's so funny. Shapeshift might not be having as fun in her own jungler in the top lane here. Shockwave into almost just instant death.
It's so much CC.
Yeah, right? Shapeshift was just not allowed to move at any point there. She had the flash. Even the flash I don't think would have been able to use.
Nope. I think smart to save it there as Ryle absolutely nails Yumichi. A couple of skill shots. Again, have to tumble out of the way to win those duels. And it is a dive onto Ryle. TP coming on through. Shusha Barrage not ready, actually already used by the looks of things, but Ryle maybe going to go back through. Aquatics fancy the angle. That condemn was good, but it's not good enough. It's Yumichi now being chased down here, and Aquatics going to finish off the job. TP coming in ×2 though, as Shysept alongside Miss Timo going to try and chase down Aquatic. That's a beautiful buffer. And Aquatic's maybe going to zip on out of there because Ryle's here alongside Shirley. Going to go ahead and get the wave pushed in. How much time can Aquatic buy? Shapeshift now going to join the party. Hookshot's going to be back up, but there is no flash, and that is going to be a kill. A shutdown, in fact, for Shysept.
Really well played there by both Yumichi and Aquatic, actually. Okay.
Costly.
Well, is definitely costly. I think in the end, the kills were 1 for 1, but the Dragon definitely all for Ayukura there make the gold much more in the favor of Arcana, as you do see the 2,000 gold lead quite early in the game, even only 15 minutes spawning here for Arcana.
It might be tricky to determine the results of today's games because I feel like all our assumptions are wrong. Every time we feel like we learn something new. As bottom side, we'll see how Ryle started this off. Actually, ultied the wave, and Yumichi was wanting to stay aggressive here. Ate a little bit too much damage here on the poke, and then the play continues. Here's the dive. Ryle's like, yep, gotta get out of here. Nicely jukes out of there. Buys a ton of time, actually, and the tower's too scary. So Heloise actually backs off from the tower, and then even with a nice condemn, not enough to stop Aquatic. And then 2 TPs come through. Aquatic tries to do her best job of running away. Does a really nice job buffering this hook shot, and buys a lot of time. Gives Ryle space to make sure to farm the rest of the wave, and gives Ayakura time on mid more critically, but at the end of the day, it is going to be a kill. Gold in the hands of Shysept, a shutdown, in fact, for Shysept, but overall, not going to be as worth as you like. Losing that first tower really hurts, especially the mid one.
Being 2-0 up in Dragons, though, definitely doesn't hurt as much as I was right. It is another Cloud Soul.
Let's go!
Game here. Serenity has already won a game today with the Cloud Soul, looking to win a second. Shockwave does land onto Yumichi. With that, you might be forced to full commit. Full commit is not exactly what you want, though. She strives for just another second before Lucia is forced to join her and then flash away as well. Basically a 1v1 between Yumichi and Ayukura came out on top yet again.
I thought Rakan might have been enough to save the day there, but Vi damage not bad. Trinity Force actually already done for MP and denting blows. Crashing through enough damage there to get the kill, and Shysept now going to be in trouble of a potential dive as the Herald's going to kick things off. That tower is not going to be around for very long, as the charge is going to go ahead and kill it. In fact, MP is going to start the party off early. Ayakura is here as well. No ulti, but that's maybe going to be okay. In fact, Shapeshift joining the party is going to mean Ayakura will have to dance out of the way, but very fancy feet keeps the Orianna safe, and that is a successful tower take. Oh! Ooh! It's a bait!
Blast cone over the wall, though.
It's a bait!
That's not
it's
where
a
you
bait!
want, my friend. Shapeshift does just about flash away, but the burn from Red Cliff, I'm assuming, is what takes them down. Double kill coming out for MP in the end there as well. I mean, all of a sudden, Arcana are kind of blowing this game up here, Pastry.
Yeah, Ryan and Shirley just took I think a 2v1 dive. I don't think Yumichi was there when that happened, so Heloise does go down. Absolutely banger play. I love that play from Ayakura. From memory, Ayakura is the player I've been pointing out as someone that's a really good one to watch, especially in the mid game, because the way she navigates the map is really intelligent. This is another example of some of that gamer IQ at work here. I mean, this dive looking pretty good. MP just starting off the party early. As we'll watch actually what happened here in the bottom lane. Ah, Miss Timo. As Ryle just dives on in, pops the exhaust, and just starts firing away. Glacial Fissure hits there for Shirley. Ulti out of Miss Timo is going to buy a bit of time, but again, that pesky Braum passive going to finish it off.
Pesky Braum shield there as well, I think kind of blocked a lot of the damage Miss Timo was hoping she would have. Such a fun champion to watch, right? But Arcana have now taken 2 outer turrets to Serenity's 0. Most of the turrets still sitting about 50% of their HP for Serenity to still take. But, I mean, the Dragon Lead is still nothing to forget about, right? Like, there might be a 4,000 gold deficit for them. There might be a 2 tower gold deficit for them. But it's still a soul, right?
I mean, this is also, like, arguably Serenity's comfort zone. This is exactly what happened in Game 1 of the day. Down 4,000 gold, up in Dragons, scaling towards that Cloud Soul. Serenity know exactly what they need to be doing here. Again, one of the things that we heard from his Timo is that this team is really good at identifying where they're strong and where they need to be playing. And good at predicting the enemy as well. So we'll see if that all comes to bear here against a different opponent. Arcana certainly happy with the lead they've developed. They have 3 Triforces, which is just an absolute treat. Time to do tons of damage to the enemy here, as it's going to be a 1v3. We could, as Miss Timo going to try and defensively Nico ulti. Wave goes away, but Miss Timo's health bar is going to be the next thing by the looks of it all. Yeah, MP just absolutely smashes the keyboard, and that's going to be a simple kill.
I do think it's funny that you bring up Miss Timo's interview, right? Where she said during the interview, like, we're actually more comfortable when we're behind, right? And then getting a snowball to win the games after that, right? That's usually, teams are the other way around. Usually they're more comfortable snowballing already with a lead, but Arcana, they showed 3 members bot lane. Let's go take the Baron.
No.
Alosia just almost loses all her HP, but you gotta watch out for your jungler. Shapeshift is still alive, just like that the rest of the
Oh, it's a donation. The Baron's going to get gifted over to Arcana. They tried to make the fast play off the back of the bottom play as they knew Arcana had to rotate up, but the Baron was not fast enough. And they just go ahead and take that Baron. An absolute tragedy. Gonna befall there as we watch this one again. Ryle is just poking away. Heloise, they're trying to find the angle, but Ayakura is the one with the flank. Aquatic there is going to catch it as it comes on through, and there is going to be a kill. MP actually very low as they dive on. Aquatic though gets that first kill, and then it's just carnage. Doesn't really matter that you lose one here and there. In fact, only lose your jungler, still more than enough left as you ace the enemy team to take the Baron. And we went from a decent gold lead that Serenity could manage to a very unmanageable lead.
Exactly right. We now have a 7,000 gold lead. Just, again, all of a sudden, right? Like, Arcana have just been slowly scaling into this game. They had the 1,000 gold lead, and then the 3,000 gold lead, and now all of a sudden it's the 7,000 gold lead. It's these single plays that are just turning the game so strongly in their favor. So far, right? Still got some more game time to go. Still have objective baddies now on the board as well for Serenity to try and close the gold gap between the two. First drag is started up and most likely to be completed now by Arcana.
Yeah, and that is going to stop the potential snowball towards the soul, so puts a little speed bump in the plan of Serenity, who are in a spot of bother or two at this particular juncture. Miss Timo getting low, but that's because it's a trick, although it does still take damage, like Ryle shooting that caster minion does do significant damage. As Yumichi tries to go back to it. Might have been a bait. Ryle's aggression gonna cost her. That condemned cataclysm finally comes up, but Aquatic, you've dove it way too far.
That's it. That's the play Serenity needed. You got the pick onto Ryle, and Aquatic just TP'd on a little bit of a wrong spot behind the enemy lines. And just like that, 2 quick picks, 2 quick bounties, I think, even if they had any, right? Shycep's definitely, my friend, do you not want to be walking through your own jungler at this point. First tower to be claimed now by Serenity in the mid lane. Remember, extra objective bounty on top of that one as well. And again, they're comfortable win behind. This is the comfort win behind. Flash and Flash traded support for mid laner. Serenity will take those all day, every day.
Yeah, Zinzo gonna stop any potential spookiness there. Ayakura with a nicely positioned shockwave, but all's well that ends well there for Serenity. Find the pick, get the tower, get some gold back in their pocket. Still behind about 7,000 gold, so it's not a great time so far, but slowing down the game, wasting a bit of time on the Baron up push. It looks like they're not going to lose too much here. In fact, there's two 2 tier 2s still standing. And that may stay the case here for the duration of this Baron. Given that your goal typically with the first Baron is to at least take an inhibitor tower, that's really good news for Serenity as far as their defensive play is concerned this game. So we are going to reset back. It is still going to be Arcana with the lead, but does feel like it's, you know, sometimes a meme, but maybe it is the Serenity comfort zone here. Down a little bit of gold here as we move slowly towards the late game.
What is the EU team that has that? Was it G2? It was G2 or Fnatic. One of them had the old meme of like the comfort zone of being down 10k gold and then always winning. I don't remember what team
that could
it
make
was.
sense for either of those teams.
Exactly,
I know
that's why I don't
TSM
remember.
used to always joke about scaling for late. There was a period where they were that team as well, but I think, you know, we've all been there, you know, from solo queue to the bigger stages. Everyone's been there. Everyone's coping, saying scale for late. But for Serenity, it might not be cope. It might just be the way they play and be in trouble. Ooh, that Kinem's nasty.
Ooh.
Bounce house is created, but he's gonna get out of there. MP
live?
finds the flash out. Easy peasy. Shelly forced the flash as well, though.
That's
Aquatic,
wild.
not so lucky though. That's Ayakura, excuse me, wrong AID. Nice pick there for Serenity.
I mean, the teams have kind of flipped their team comps at this point, right? Arcana dropped the pick team comp. Serenity drafted the team fight comp, but they have now switched in that Arcana have been winning the team fight. Serenity have been winning the picks into objective play, which is definitely not what you may have thought going into this game, but from the game so far, that's how it's been played.
Yeah, how did this even happen? MP just face checking. Wanted to get some vision. Shycept with the angle. Oh, and that blast cone could not save you.
Or they walked over the blue ward in the banana bush.
Right. Certainly did. And then, okay, everyone's flashing out, and then, I don't know what Ayakura's angle is here. I guess nice shockwave hits 3 or 4, but yeah, plenty of CC left, and that's a shutdown dono there to Miss Timo. Bit of a misstep by Ayakura. Normally, again, very on the ball, very smart player. Playing nicely this game on the Orianna. Has a pretty healthy CS lead as well. Has clearly navigated the matchup well on comfort champion for both his mid laners. But a bit of a silly death is going to cost you some time and a bit of gold. Arcana still not out of it yet. Still, in fact, very firmly in the lead. You just have to... I feel like this is just one of the things that maybe Arcana can think about. I think sometimes they play a little too fast for themselves.
Little too fast is the quickness now from Lucio.
Hey.
Only kind of tags Shirley and probably don't want to be engaging solely onto Shirley, so it will surely back off.
Does do so, as it is Aquatic pushing in the top half as well. Trying to set up a siege here in the mid lane. Tower is nice and low. No Baron. It's up in 30 seconds. Dragon going to follow about 5 seconds after, but Arcana trying to buy themselves as much map space as they can buy. Going to purchase up all the real estate here on Summoner's Rift. Is Aquatic going to be forced to back away? Interrupt does not connect, but the Cataclysm does. Aquatic, though, now in the dojo fighting 1v1, and I don't think that's where Shycept wants to be.
No.
MP with the rotator when Ryle gets the kill.
Where did Shycept go? She just got the lead under her turret. Like, even like, you know, Jarvan has a pretty wide gap close where you saw where Jarvan just went halfway across the screen, probably on those players, right? Into abilities. But even then, everybody on Arcana squad has the dashes, has the gap closers, has the damage even to blow her up. And just like that, you get the pick, transition that right into the Baron. On the flip side of the map, though, you see the Dragon being started up by Serenity.
Yeah, they're actually running down there to try and run a little bit of interference. I think Ayakura is correctly recognizing that there's a trap in that brush, so does not want to face check. And I don't think there's an angle here to try and get this Dragon. I guess you have Ezreal ulti, but there it is, flying by. There is going to be a Dragon over to Serenity. Now their third, going to be Soul Point coming up for the rest of the game for them.
I thought I saw Nico, but I guess it was only for wave clear. I was like, did Miss Nima actually cast someone? Nope, just for wave clear, I'm thinking.
Better than nothing. Do have to buy time here on the Serenity side. That is certainly the case. Up now almost to that vaunted 10,000 gold lead for Arcana. See how much damage they can do with the Baron. Serenity did a really good job of finding some picks and being a nuisance in the last Baron attempt. I think Arcana will right themselves and slow down just a little here. Make sure they're all lined up and pushing the waves in the right spots.
Arcana have definitely done, like you said, lining up the waves in the right spots, but also lining up the turrets in the right spots as well. They have claimed all the outer turrets, then they claimed all the inner turrets. Now they're looking at the inhibitor turrets. That's typically how you're supposed to play League of Legends. Most teams like to just barrel down one lane and hope for the best, right? But we're going to give a shout out to the coaches. Once again, Arcana coach of the day being Summer. Gotta love Summer.
Clinical approach. Doing all their admin work before they move on to the next task. Always good to see. Gotta close those tickets before you open new ones. For anyone that uses Jira out there, I apologize. I'm sure that triggered a lot of memories for you. Bottom side, it is going to be Arcana. I was going to go with homework, but I'm like, I don't know. I haven't done homework in a minute, so not relevant to me personally.
Do you want to do my homework? I don't want to do it. Aw.
Also, it depends what it is, but I think it involves maths, and that's not good for me. That's a weakness, as they say. Ooh, little whip there for the shockwave as Ayakura tried to poke down Heloisa, I believe, but it is going to be one turret in the bottom lane, and now one in the mid and two in him. So a much better deal on this Baron than the last one here. Arcana threatening to maybe close the game, but it looks like it will be tutorial style as we move up to the top half of the rift.
Nope. We can't close the game out without completing our inhibitor turret line.
That's
Come on.
true.
You gotta
got all
go
these missions to complete.
bot lane, then mid lane, then top lane. I think there's
And
even
recall. And spend your money.
I think there's a secret stat, like if you look in the back end of League of Legends stats, where it's like amount of turrets taken or something, or not turrets, inhibitors taken, and usually it's only one or two. Oh.
That's a banger ulti. Miss Teemo actually starting off, and Ayakura is going to go down. The cannon doesn't popped out there, and the front line is not going to exist for too much longer. Yumichi shreds through MP, and now he's going for the rest of the team. Ryle's been run down. Yumichi, I think, finally getting popped. No, it's a triple kill instead. Yumichi lives in Aquatic, the only one that tells the tale at the end of it all.
Aquatic said, "See you later," and the rest of the team kind of just blew up. I don't know where they went. Almost the perfectly clean ace there for Serenity, as we do get to watch it again. I want to watch
it is
the
a
initial
minion!
engage. Oh my gosh, it was the minion.
That was a very well disguised Nico ulti there, and Yumichi, all the space in the world to play this fight, running up, chasing down the 80 carry, even through the exhaust, flashing past Ryle, tumble, proc the silver bolts, has protection there, keeping herself between shapeshift. Very clean team fight there for Serenity, and that is exactly what they need to keep themselves in this game. We were looking at like triple inhibs down, double supers every wave, Baron still ticking away. That was it. It was the classic completion of League of Legends being attempted by Arcana. Went for the 100% speedrun. Unfortunately, hit a speed bump there up against Serenity, who are still fighting, and Yumichi's Vayne, once again, despite how well the early game went for Arcana, keeping Yumichi at arm's length, not giving too much away. The Vayne scaling is starting to kick in, and that is concerning for the Arcana fans.
Absolutely, you always got to worry about that in the back of your mind, right? Even if they put Yumichi pretty well behind in the laning phase, right? That is still a worry that you always got to think about. Helosia looking for the engage here. MP already taking the 50% of their HP. Sure, a really good flash over the wall, but flashing right into the waiting arms of Shysept. However, watch out for your base, my friends. CP now going back into the base. Got a couple of recalls as well, but MP is here to stop the backs.
Oh!
Just stop them, buy some time, even buy more time with the help of a stopwatch. We only have Miss Teemo here, and Miss Teemo just disappeared.
Goodbye!
They gone the Nexus. They do not have time to recall, and just like that, Arcana taking the 1-0 so far for today.
Yeah, exactly how we thought the game was going to end, huh, Camp?
Oh yeah, for sure. That's what I was predicting.
Alrighty then. That was a quick end to that game. The classic top laner plus 80 carry go end the game top lane backdoor.
Where did Nico go?
To game 2. Just push you to the next champ select. As Miss Teemo does not live very long there trying to defend the Nexus. I mean, look, there were lanes pushing. There were 2 inhibs down. We knew top lane was going to be the access point for Arcana. And I guess just taking it to the nth degree, I think actually the hero of the end of that game for Serenity, who were fighting as hard as they could to keep themselves in that game. And it made me a believer, at least for a part of that game, that they could make the comeback. MP, absolute heroics. Yeah. To buy as much time as they could on the Vi, had the stopwatch in the back pocket. That was the time they needed. It was one thing that, like, they were going to get the Tyrant inhib, probably, right? But to buy enough time to buy space to end the game Very nicely done. Yes, it does in fact have perfect timing, both on and off the Rift and on the Rift again.
Ooh, we get to watch the Baron take again.
Ooh,
Okay.
got this for us.
Poor Recon. Where did Lucia go? I don't know.
I mean, to the back of the fight, Aquatic's like, you know, maybe I'll die, maybe I won't. Takes out the Rakan. Darwin pops the ulti. Yumichi is tanking Baron, and it's a bad time. This was the Baron that kind of put Arcana in the driver's seat. Player was a little too quick there, trying to steal that Baron away, and punished justly by Arcana there, who were very quick to respond to that play. I think we learnt a lot about these two teams. I'm kind of happy to report that I don't think Arcana have changed very much. They've just gotten better at doing the thing they do.
That was also like that replay is important because it shows the Baron that definitely won the game for Arcana, but that was also kind of the team fight into the Baron that won the game for Arcana, where Arcana lost a lot of the team fights after that point, and that was the points where Serenity was like, the mental comes back when you win the team fight, right? Like the gold comes back a little bit, but not as much as the mental from those team fights. And then the backdoor. I mean, that was first and so far only backdoor that we have seen so far. In the game changes.
Yes.
Hopefully we don't
true.
see more. I don't like backdoors.
Really? Oh, I'm a big fan. Bring me as many as you can.
I'm good. I think Arcana kind of realized at that point in the game, like, we're not winning any team fights anymore, especially with, like we said, the Vayne was scaling, the Nico was scaling. Like, it was getting harder and harder to just fist fight 5v5 against them. And in the end, just backdoor.
Yeah,
No team
definitely found the way in. I think we are seeing both one of the great things about Arcana and perhaps one of the weaknesses in that they're a very volatile, very explosive team. Will try and open up early game leads anywhere they possibly can, and did do so to some success here in this early game, I would say. I mean, a lot of their early games, especially if you think all the way back to week 1, were very explosive, super snowbally games where they just, you know, got ahead and stayed ahead, and the games were short. One of our shortest games, I think, of the tournament actually was our opener as Arcana just went off
23
in their
minutes.
game. There you go. But I did say in the game, and I think it bears some repeating here, that, you know, sometimes we play a little too quick, and I think we did see them adjust in that game, slow things down after the second Baron, you know, find ways to approach that game, and then maybe rightfully sped up again when they realized that the game was kind of getting scrappy and they needed to do something other than, you know, fight front to back. I think Arcana are a team that are still softening their edges, and I think we've seen a lot more refinement from the other two teams, but that doesn't mean Arcana don't have time to do that. It's just maybe they're the last team to do it. And I think the great thing about an event like this is that by the time we get to finals, the nice thing is that all the teams will be likely the best they can be, right? I mean, they're gonna have to be because it's the only day they have left to play, but we should see all the teams really come into their own, really see these players come into their own. And I think we'll see that even game to game as Arcana do just eke out this game. We'll see how they fare in game number 2, which is coming up in just a mo.
But speaking of finals, just in case you want to come see the finals in person
Which you should.
in LA, you absolutely should. I will be there. I can't believe I'm going to be there, but you should also be there. You can claim your free ticket. Free tickets, everybody. Free
It's
tickets with
free.
your exclamation point tickets in the Twitch chat. Come see us live in the studio, in LCS studio in LA. If you would like to come see all the teams, all the players, managers, coaches, us casters, except for Pastry. If you want to see us in person, come be us with us in person.
Absolutely. Please come through. It's a great time. If you've never been to an LCS show, it's a wonderful time. This is an
I
extra
haven't.
special show as well. Well, look, you know what? You're going to get you first.
My first too. And speaking of the teams as well, if you want to follow the teams more online, definitely look to their social medias. They have put lots of work into their branding, content creation, and social media platforms. Follow the teams, follow the players. They're all doing a fantastic job at keeping their online presences super, super well, super happy, super strong. Good job, everybody.
So I think there's, you know, as always, going to be a bit of a reset between the games. Teams figure out what they want to do. Serenity were red hot starting off the day and knocked down a peg by Arcana, who win their first appearance of this weekend. Always nice to win the first one. But I kind of want to get away from that for a little bit and just see what we think about Rile's champion pool, because it is kind of ludicrous to play 9 unique champions in a tournament.
9 unique champions across 9 games so far, yeah.
Assuming the trend will hold, and I just have to feel like this is something Rile has committed herself to. At least for this. I think finals, we may finally see the first repeat. But until then, what do we think champion number 10 is going to be? Because it's almost assuredly coming up.
So for all of our viewers who have not watched every single game like we have so far, we have Ryle Twitch, Ryle Yasuo, Ryle Vayne, Ryle Ash, Ryle Tristana, Ryle Lucian, Ryle Aphelios, Ryle Misfortune, and update to that, Ryle Ezreal today. I'm thinking of Yone. Yone game 2.
She tweeted about it. I said I'm looking forward to it this weekend. I think she liked the tweet. So to me, that's basically confirmation you're going to play it. I don't see how you could possibly lie to someone on the internet and not play a champion.
Who would do that?
To her credit, she did actually say it was good and did say she thought it was better than Yasuo. So she has been playing it a little bit in solo queue. She's also been playing an unbelievable amount of solo queue. So you never know, which is one of the fun things. I will say Ezreal looking pretty good there. It's funny that she's played that many champions, but not Kai'Sa. So I guess that's the other one that kind of sticks out as like probably going to get a Kai'Sa game at some point. But who knows?
Yeah, some other players in the tournament here are close to the 9 for 9, but
Oh, wow.
nobody else has definitely actually done it like Ryle has.
Who's second? It must be Shysept.
I could count right now, but my guess would also be Shysept.
Might be tied, might be alone in second, but almost assuredly Shysept is going to be in that conversation. Again, J4 top was the last game. Could see something different there again. I don't think
When did
she's played...
Shysept play today so far?
J4 last game, and the game before that was... Oh, it was something kind of spicy.
Because actually before today, I think Shysept also had an 8 for 8 on Champions.
Oh, interesting. I thought she had 2 Jax games. Oh my goodness, what? You know what?
She had... Shysept has Renekton, Rengar, Ornn, Vladimir, Alawi, Jax, Singed Scion was the stats before today, but I don't update my stats between games.
I think
So
Camille in one of the games, and I'm trying to find the other game.
don't remember.
Nope, not that one. Yeah, Camille is one of them. I can't remember the other one. The one in the middle is eluding me.
Aatrox? No?
No, that was
She played against Aatrox.
Yeah, she played against Aatrox.
Okay.
Oh, Nasus!
So then, yeah, she's also
Let's go!
11 for 11.
Absolutely spicy. Well, you know what? We can look forward to that again then. A 12th unique champion for sure.
Okay. Let's see.
I feel like there's no way that Ryle, if a player does that, there's no way she doesn't join. Like, I think if her team, Twitch could be open, they could be begging her to pick Twitch, and she'd be like, no. You don't understand.
I was talking to Ryle a little bit after the games last week. She didn't even know that she was 8 for 8 on Champions list. So I don't know if she's actually been doing it on purpose or not, but now we've been saying it so much for her that she definitely knows, and now for the first time we're actually seeing that Shysept has done it as well. I didn't have the exact stats on it until this weekend, so yep, Shysept is actually also now 11 for 11, which is
nice.
Pretty interesting for top laners. I feel like usually competitive top laners stick to like the same, 3 or 4 champions. Like the fact that
lots of competitive players, period, stick to the same 2 or 3 champions all season.
Yeah.
So
11 for
super
11
cool.
is crazy.
No, that's awesome, and I think does speak to their natures as players for both Ryle and Shysept. They're both players that love counter picks, and both players that are willing to play more unique picks to try and get an edge in their matchups. Obviously, Ryle's in a 2v2 and Shysept's in a 1v1, but they do have the same idea, and I believe I saw Ryle tweeting, because Ryle can't stop tweeting, that like it's not just like, oh, I'm picking for fun. It's like, I'm picking because I think I can get an edge here, and I want to get an edge in lane, and I know Shysept from her interviews feels the same way as well. So it might just be like a product of how they want to play the game rather than an intentional choice. But either way, it is extremely entertaining and really fun to see 2 players play different champions. And in general, it's nice to see players mixing it up, playing their comfort champions, playing signature champions we don't get to see as often. It's always nice in an event like this where you do tend to get a mix of comfort and meta. And unlike some other tournaments where things are maybe a bit more strict as far as what champions you end up seeing, it's nice to see such diversity.
Okay, Ryle has not tweeted in between these games so far.
Okay, good. Shout out to the manager for keeping control of their players.
Yay, manager for Arcana is Gabrielle. Love
Again,
Gabrielle.
Again, more
I
things
met
the players will
Gabrielle's
have
mom. Gabrielle's mom is super cool.
to. Incredible. I mean, it kind of tracks, no?
That's true. Yes.
I was gonna say more fun little things that the players may not be used to when they come to play in the LCS. You are not allowed your phone in the middle of a series. So no tweeting between games.
Really? I swear, like on the player cams in between series on LCS, like you see the players all sitting on their phones and the coach is like trying to tell them important information.
Oh no, they're not on their phones. They're doing something else. But they're absolutely not. They're absolutely not allowed to have their phones on stage.
Oh, okay, on stage. Yeah,
On
that
stage.
makes sense.
Yeah, on stage. Oh, in the room or whatever. Like, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
It's doomed. But on stage, you're not allowed to have them. So if you're, I guess between you are, but yeah, you won't be able to tweet on stage. I guess you could tweet mid-series in that case. I believe the meta though is to schedule a tweet if you can, and try and let it drop in the middle of the game.
I think I've seen Joju do that definitely at least one time where he like he schedules the tweet of like, at this point in the game we have beat this team.
Yep, that's Vulcan and Jojo special.
Oh yeah, Vulcan too.
Two of our more talkative players. But we'll see what happens here in game number 2. Looks like the sides have stayed the same. So Serenity still on blue. Down a game for the first time today. This is their last game of the week as well. Don't forget, before they play finals. So gonna want to make it a good one.
Twisted fate. Twisted fate. Twisted fate. As a reminder, all teams get coin flip side selection at least one time each day. And then game 2 is loser takes side select. So Serenity... I could be wrong on this. I think who had blue side? No, they're staying on the same sides, right?
They are.
Yeah, so I think Serenity picked blue side and then Serenity picked blue side again. I think that's what happened.
Well, look at that. All lines up as Akali banned once again. Still Sag as an Akali enjoyer myself, but we'll get that banned. We'll get, hey, look, a real band. Eloisa continuing to lose the champion. One day it's gonna get through.
One day we're gonna have like the full 5-man comfort game of like, let's see, Shysipt, Rengar, Shapeshift, Natalie, Miss Timo, Oriana?
Oh, Ori, yeah.
Or Azir, or Oriana, either one. I think Yumichi probably likes Kai'Sa the most. That's kind of the vibe that I've been getting from them most. And obviously Alosia on the rail. That would be probably not a super great team comp stylistic wise, but comfort wise, that would be a very fun game to watch.
It's not that bad.
It's not terrible, but I wouldn't pick it if I was their coach.
No, neither. I think Macros is going to be a little stricter on that. We'll see what happens. There's Twitch being banned once again. In fact, so far, so samey as far as the bans go. That 4th one of the Azir included.
So far. I would like to introduce everybody to all my stuffed animals as we have some time now. Okay, this is Ducky. Sometimes a mama duck, because sometimes I have baby ducks, but so far only Ducky for today.
Wait, why do you only sometimes have baby ducks? What happens? Where do they go?
Sometimes my sister steals them. This is Willump, yes. This is the ice cream that I made. I think you've seen him before. This is Taily, he's my red panda bear. This is Noodle, he's my octopus that I made. And that is Happy Seal. And that's my big giant peep.
Incredible. I have a question for you. Now I hear kind of exploring the menagerie of plushies behind you, which are incredible, by the way. What is your favorite animal?
Duck, obviously.
Oh.
Look at this.
I'm sorry.
Got a duck.
There you go. Okay. See? Today we all learned something. You're welcome, chat.
What's your favorite animal?
Rabbit.
Okay. Haven't heard too many people say that before.
Look at me. I'm such a snowflake. MP gonna lose Vi as one of their options here. Jack's also being banned away, I believe, once again. And Oriana, the champion that these two teams are gonna most fight over, which is not a surprise at all. Miss Timo did look pretty good on the Nico, did feel comfortable in the game plan of Jake pushing and wanting to play with their team. Did end up falling behind as a result because Aikura just stayed in lane. And generally, Arcana were dodging ganks that were heading mostly bottom lane, so went all good. We'll see what Aikura wants to do as far as counter picks go here. And I think, again, you said it already, these two teams love this champion. No surprise to see it being such a high priority, even over the likes of Java, which is going to go into MP's hands.
I want to say Miss Timo has been on Oriana all 4 games today so far for her. I could be wrong on that, but I'm pretty
Apart
sure.
from the last game, yes.
What was she on last game?
She got it taken away. She was playing Nico.
Right. Okay. All 4 games except for that game, so 3 games.
Every game she has had access to Oriana, she's played Oriana.
That is fair. And then we have the J4 takeaway pick once again there for MB, as well as the Nautilus. Now, funny story about that. They kind of have a little bit of anti-synergy, right? Where if you have the Cataclysm down, then you cannot actually hook the person inside the Cataclysm.
Correct.
It's a very sad interaction if you're the Nautilus trying to hook someone in the Cataclysm. So hopefully they have enough communication to at least minimize that potential threat there, as Renata is picked for Alosia.
Like that one as a potential counterpick here, trying to bully some of the melee supports and get in the way. Very disruptive kind of support. Very unique in that regard, as Shapeshift going to go back to Xin with Jarvan picked up. You're right about the dyssynergy between Cataclysm and Nautilus Hook, but I do enjoy the build your own volcanic geyser that you can maybe set up if you have both of them ult at the same time. It's like you're celebrating as the Cataclysm erupts and they shoot up into the air out of the depth charge. So, you know, there's some fun to be had.
There should definitely be a skin for J4 that, like, makes the party, like, I don't know, confetti would probably be a really distracting animation, but maybe if they, like, made it a toggle for everybody else in the game, that would be fun.
We've seen Surprise Party Fiddlesticks. Like, I think
that's true.
it's
Some
confetti
of
is
those
allowed.
animations are kind of distracting, but, you know, let's just add more. Why not? Ari has been selected here for Ayukur. Ari, very meta pick, but not a pick that we've got to see a whole lot in the tournament so far.
No, I was actually kind of waiting to see this because we're seeing so much Orianna today. I was surprised we didn't see even Ferrigirl on Ari, one of the first champions. I think maybe even the first champion we saw her on. Very confident on that pick as well. So, again, caster braids remember weird stuff. But we'll see how this goes here. Definitely a skill matchup, but one where both can shine as far as individual skill goes, and do have somewhat similar contributions to team comps. Orianna contributing more to team fight, Ari contributing more to pick, but both can do both in some ways. Xayah going to be banned away, continuing to take out the top tier AD carries, as we'll see if Ashe continues to get the axe. It's Camille instead, going to be banned away from Aquatic.
We have had one single Ari game, and you were exactly right. It was game 1, day 1. Ferrigirl playing that mid laner for Astrocats. Now, game 2 for the Ari is game number 4 here on the final day of exhibition matches. Kaisa is still available. Probably will be banned by one of these teams, if not probably R4 here for Ryle. But a lot of these AD carries are getting pinched away from Yumichi, I would say. Xayah and Vayne, definitely probably her top 2, if not top 3, then including Kaisa. So if we're banning those two, I'm assuming it's going to be the R4 Kaisa.
Yeah, I also assume if we're banning Kaisa here, we're going to take jungle and actually give counterpick to Ryle, because again, she does like counterpick, and Shicep was counterpick for top. But we'll see. Maybe want to take away that counterpick potential, as it is Ashe going to get banned instead. So opening up that Kaisa. Again, funny to think that this is not a champion Ryle has played to potentially continue her streak, but Kaisa is a very good meta AD carry, so it almost just feels like the natural pick here. And once again, I don't think Ryle's doing it on purpose. It's just a fun fact that this could be her 10th unique champion.
Champion number 10 here. Also looking for champion number... Oh my goodness. Excuse me. Also looking for champion number 12 unique for Shicept, depending on what she locks in. Or maybe we've just all been bamboozled and it's going to be the Xin Zhao thrown up top lane.
To be fair, that would be a 12th unique champion, so it still plays. But we'll keep on the idea that is likely Shapeshift on that Xin. So we'll see what Serenity want to take here for their last 2 picks of this draft. Need a top laner and need an AD carry. Yumichi going to go back to Zeri here. Makes a lot of sense.
Makes a lot of sense. I think Zeri Renata is a super strong bot lane as well at most stages of the game, where when one of them is typically weak, the other one is much stronger, right? So just synergistic wise, I'm actually quite excited to see this bot lane. Also, almost every single support that we've seen throughout all of Game Changers so far, right, has been an engaged support. I will always prefer to watch, play, cast, whatever it is, enchanters. I love enchanter meta, so I'm always happy to see a Renata or some other enchanter similar type champion, right? As Shicept does lock the Ornn, and with that, unfortunately,
That's
stops.
Oh no!
Stops it. She has picked Ornn before. This is her second champion picked. So sorry.
I mean, makes sense here at the comp. I do like the pick in general, and especially because you're blinding, it makes sense. There's the answer, the Gwen. Going to be the counter pick there for Aquatic real nice split pusher champion. Although Gwen honestly does a little bit of everything. Being immune tends to give you a numerous ways to contribute to a fight. Also gives you a bit more AP damage. Not that you really needed it. In fact, they kind of have a surprising amount of AP damage baked into a lot of these champions kits. Naturally, obviously they have a mage, but both Kai'Sa and Gwen do a decent amount of AP damage.
Gwen is immune.
As a Camille enjoyer that Aquatic is, we did see the pick last game looking good. Banned away in this game. Gwen, yeah,
excuse me.
going to be immune for some of this game, if not a lot of this game.
I will be extremely disappointed if Twisha is not currently spamming Gwen as immune. I expect high things from all of you.
I don't know what this says about me, but I am a Gwen enjoyer.
I'm also a Gwen enjoyer. I think she's a lot of fun to watch. Definitely not a lot of fun to play against, though, and it probably shows that neither of us are actually top lane mains, as I think probably all top lane mains would have very different opinions.
Yep, they're raging in chat right now. Remember, chat, if you're out there and spamming away, don't forget to hit exclamation mark tickets, because that's how you get to the event that's coming next Saturday. You're gonna spam something, at least spam something worthwhile, chat.
Yes, Gwen is immune is very worthwhile. Anyways, Aquatic is the only person in the tournament so far to have picked Gwen. She has won and count them one game on the Gwen. Did unfortunately lose it against Astrocats last week in their 4-0 win streak. Looking to make it a little better, that matchup was Gwen versus Aatrox, though. This is Gwen versus Ornn. Very different.
Certainly so, as a little bit of a setup here for Arcana. Doing some level 1 reconnaissance, trying to see if someone might face check, or perhaps is a late invade angle. Makes sense, because MP's still here, pops the sweeper, and in they go.
Once again, it's always either Serenity or Arcana kind of doing the sneaky level 1 strats. Usually Arcana is only going for wards, though. This time they're actually going for the first red buff clear. Could be a vertical jungle, even for MP if they want to do that on the bot side here. I definitely think if you want to vertical jungler for one of these sides, MP would pick the bot side every single time, every single day of the week.
I have so much respect for what Arcana did there, by the way, their bottom lane. They actually walked far enough up so it would make it look a little bit more like they were leashing blue than where they actually were, which was down at red. So they tried to give away the minimum amount of information after that invade, and MP is going to get 2 camps here to kick things off, and I'm pretty sure Sheepshift has no clue what's happening.
And Miss Timo also doesn't really have a clue what's happening. Maybe even luckily enough for her, right? She's been pushed off the wave so far. If she was pushed out whatsoever, would have been a very easy level 2 gank there for MP in the mid lane. Not going to be quite the full vertical jungle, as MP doesn't actually clear the Krugs. Oh, poor Shapeshift. Shapeshift will get the Krugs, but unfortunately nothing else from her bot side. MP meanwhile gets absolutely everything except for the Krugs.
Yeah, going to be a 3 buff here for MP. Nicely done there, little jungle invade. Makes sense to invade the power clear jungle expert, even on a champion like Xin, which obviously not necessarily known for his super fast clearing. Just nice to see some mix up here at level 1, disrupting some of the enemy pathing, and even poked mid for a potential go at Ms. Timo as well. So nice little bit of teamwork there for Arcana, but things all going to settle down here as Aquatic off to a nice early lead, getting that slow push going.
Slow push, but not full crash, unfortunately, for her there. So Shysept does have just enough time to kind of break the crash enough and actually cancel Aquatic's back there, which is actually quite tragic for Aquatic. You're thinking right now in your head, if you're Aquatic, where's the jungler? Where's the jungler? Where's the jungler? Where's the That's what she's thinking right now.
I mean, the jungler can only really be in one place because there's nothing for Shapeshift to take in the bottom half. So
exactly.
Shapeshift's almost assuredly in the top half of the map, and Aquatic's like, how close are they? Because I know they're here somewhere.
And that's why you see Aquatic like, oh, well, guess I don't get to touch the wave really at all. For right now, a little bit of chaos happening around the top scuttle, though, as it looked like Ayukura kind of wanted to contest it maybe a little bit, and now we got the party in the top lane. Shirley roaming all the way up for bot lane. You see Rao will make it her way up here as well right now. Got a full party up here.
This timing is going to be tragic for somebody, potentially. It's just a matter of who. I don't know if they're going to actually commit. In fact, they are going to back. Oh, no!
Oh, no. Shysept, my friend. The wrong way on Summoner's Rift. Will be forced to burn a flash, and I mean, it's extremely lucky she does burn anything else.
Nice little Bella's breath there, and Miss Timo going to escort her out. Shicep gets away, but out of mana, gonna have to go ahead and TP back to lane most likely, as Aquatic's gonna stick around and farm the rest of those waves. Honestly, all things considered, committing that time there for Shirley doesn't actually do that much. Just buys a little bit of Shicep's time and the flash more than anything, but we'll see how it kind of maybe bears out in the extended play. For now, Ryle's just going to have to contest in the 2v1, but is doing just fine here as far as CS goes, and Shirley going to make it back in time for Serenity to go ahead and do a bit of roaming, but just a ward down in front of the dragon to make sure that one is kept watch of.
I think it's so funny how mirrored these two AD carries have slowly become. It's a Zeri versus Kai'Sa, right? Which are kind of similar champions. They're both going to scale really well and not have super great early games, right? But they both have Ghost. They both started Doran's Blade with the Cole and a couple of health pots. Like, everything between them has been so perfectly mirrored. Even their wave management and positioning has been so perfectly mirrored in the first 5 minutes of this game, where there's really no telling, right? This bot lane is quite literally exactly even.
Good hook, though. Get some damage down, and that is big damage onto Yamichi. Rao trying to follow through for the rest of the play. The Ignite has been used. Backup is there, though. Heloisa does manage to kick some people out with the Q. And the dive is maybe there, but Shapeshift there to cover it. Here's Ayakura, though. Beautiful timing on the roam here. Level 6 on the Ari. Already put the ulti. We're going. There's the charm in. There's the knock up onto the Java, and the damage is not quite there as the hook goes wide. Is going to be flashed away, and the TP should signal the end of that play, but Ryle finds the flash still. Is going to be followed on, and there is first blood for Yamichi. Call it second blood as well. That goes absolutely pear-shaped for Arcana.
Fight, 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 fight. And just like that, I curse the bot lane. Let's go! Every single summoner across the map, other than Aquatic, has been burnt. No more TPs, except for Aquatic and Ayukura. Never mind, just Shicep to miss Teemo TP, but that's just the VS, so bot lane, sometimes you gotta expect, and I mean, it's extremely left for Arcana. It was only a 2-0, and lucky for Serenity, that's a 2-0 for Yumichi.
Yeah, it feels kind of bad because Arcana had the setup, had the mid laner first there, but does not play out the way they wanted it to. Defensive abilities used well. And Eternity dodge out of that tragedy to give Yumichi another early game lead. I feel like I've seen both these AD carries at different points get ahead early. This time, even though the dive looks good, this flash is the one that saves Shapeshift and then nailed there by Heloisa. That Q been very pinpoint every time she's picked up Renata. And this time, no different, as that secures the first one. Yamichi nails the second, even forces a flash with that Zeri Lightning there as well. As there aren't any follow-ups, but hey, you got 2 kills, you'll be happy there.
Absolutely right. I mean, Yumichi's coming away happy as can be from that team fight. I mean, I don't know. Is it a team fight? I don't know. It's kind of a
Almost. It was
dive.
very close.
That's fair. Yeah, we do have the first dragon, though, finally up on the board. Looking for the ults to come online for the bot lane first, though. Currently, only Yumichi has hers available. Other than that dive, though, everything has been super clean, super quiet, super even. It is just Yumichi with the 2-0.
Yeah, basically that 1,000 gold lead going to be sitting between these 80 carries for a little while, so we'll see how Ryle navigates that. Usually the player that wants to be aggressive going to have to maybe play back a little with the lead that Yumichi has. About 800 there between the two teams. Thank you, observers, for toggling that goal to Serenity. Have the push in mid, Miss Teemo. Joining up with the jungler, pushing the wave, and bottom lane's pushing, which means the dragon is open for business. Doesn't look like Arcana are interested in any sort of contest. Would be a tough spot to try for it, so are going to have to take their loss here on this first objective. Dragon itself taken a little later than usual, but better late than never here for Serenity as they secure it safely, which is maybe more important than anything else.
Absolutely, that first Chemtech dragon for Serenity, they have been on top of these objectives all day today, Pastry, right? They have been almost starting on their own, right? Every single objective today, maybe only missing a couple as starting, but always been there at some point here. Definitely something put in their juices this morning. It's a very different Serenity that we have seen the past couple of weeks. They've been playing really, really well today.
Yeah, definitely been a much more cohesive squad. We've heard that from the players themselves when we heard from Miss Teemo earlier today. If you did not catch the interview after we're done here, make sure you go ahead and get a listen, because all the interviews we've had have been spectacular. Great hook there from Shirley, but Ryle doesn't really have an angle to follow up on, and Shapeshift is continuing to be a presence here in the bottom lane. Really feels like we're playing a bit of a 3v2 here for Arcana's bottom lane, but there has been a lot of bottom lane attention in all the games we've seen. It has been kind of the hotspot for LCS game changes this year, and a player like Ryle, and especially Yumichi with how well she's been playing today, I'm not too surprised as MP going to use that time that Shafe just spent bottom lane to at least get the Rift Herald for the team.
Absolutely. I mean, even if you don't see Shapeshifts hanging down the bot lane, right? If you don't see them on the top lane, probably is safe to assume they're hanging around bot lane. And with that, let's take that first Rift Herald, and they do have a little bit enough time, I think, to possibly drop this before those plates fall as well. I'm guessing that'll be going probably bot lane this game. I think Ryle on the Kaisa probably is saying, hey, I need some extra gold, especially since I'm down 0-2, kind of right to Yumichi. Ryle needs some extra gold to be able to do the Ryle AD carry things later in this game.
Yeah, wouldn't be surprised to see MP clear the rest of that top side, those top side camps that we see, and then make their way down to the bottom half of the Rift. Could even see a push and roam as well from Ayakura. I've seen Miss Timo actually be pretty active today, not even just on the more roam-esque champions like the Nico we saw in the last game, but leaving Ryle alone with support roaming means that sometimes you get absolutely snapped off by Heloisa, and this Renata is just looked so good as Yumichi. Some wild lightning, but enough to grab the kills. Cataclysm in the mid lane's maybe going to seal the deal. Beautiful Shockwave, though, is going to turn the tables, and that might be enough for Shapeshift. W's in, flashes forward, and that's going to be one, and should be two, as MP going to have to EQ one out of there. Does get to safety, but a beautiful turnaround there for Serenity in mid.
And beautiful turnaround for Serenity, the bot lane there as well. Ryle didn't get to do a Ryle thing. She was shut down so well by both Yumichi and Helosia. Perfectly timing their ults. The Helosia ult plus Zeri ult there, as well as we do get a replay here on the mid lane. I mean, the Shockwave alone, right, turned this, but Shapeshift as well being there right in time, knowing the sense out damage and shutting down Ayakura and almost getting MP as well, made both of these plays super worth for Serenity.
Yeah, great presence of mind there. As we see, this Renata, so good. I mean, Yumichi obviously bearing a lot of the fruit that is being produced here as getting all the kills, getting all the gold, which is where you want it to be. But as Shystep flashes away, it has been Heloisa that has set up basically everything that Serenity have been gifted so far. Like, those 3 kills, there's a reason they matched the 3 assists of their support.
And it's funny, right, because... Sorry, it's funny because in draft, right, I was saying, wow, we get an Enchanter support. I'm so happy. I love watching Enchanter supports. But Alosia is playing this Enchanter support like an engage. She's been there for the engage and landed the engage with the Q or with the ult every single time so far in these team fights.
Yeah, it's one of those things where I feel like Ryle is slightly more... It's tough because, like, such a talented player, so individually mechanically skilled, so we'll often dodge a lot of skill shot engages, but I feel like it's so aggressive that it maybe provides more opportunities to get hit by them than your average player. So I feel like Renata is the kind of champion that can really frustrate a player like Ryle, who does want to go in so often and push limits as far as aggression goes. Mid lane, though, trying to set up a play. Charm is beautiful. MP here for the follow-up. There's the knock-up. No flash. The Miss Timo just zipping on out of there, but Cataclysm's going to seal the deal. Ayakura finds the kill.
Wow, and luckily enough for Miss Timo, you'll notice as well that the Shockwave was not actually put on cooldown. If it was like 1 or 2 more frames, Shockwave would have went off, would have pulled them out from under the turret as well, and it would have gone on cooldown, and she would have died either way. But MP and Ayakura setting that up so perfectly. Plate, I think, fell and nobody actually got the tower gold, so that's a little unfortunate for them. The minions will claim that for themselves, but meanwhile we have another dragon fight coming up here in about 15 seconds.
Pretty good dragon to grab as well. Not going to be our soul for the Rift, but is going to be the Infernal Drake. Always good to grab. You can see that Scuttlecrab vision timing out shortly for Arcana. I'm going to see enemy support and jungle moving in. Do have a defensive ward there, but looks like that recall is going to spell the end of any contest here for this dragon. And Serenity, once again, right on time for the objective. Going to be able to take that one away nice and cleanly. Is only going to try and clear the way with the ulti. MP running interference there. Pops the Herald and say, you know what, bottom lane, I'm sorry. I know it's rough, but we have to give up. It is going to be all aquatic here for this mid game. Going to donate this gold over with the Herald.
Aquatic does have that Rift Maker completed as well, which I believe is a pretty big spike for the Gwen, right? So adding onto that even more bonus gold. Fortunately, it crashed just after, or maybe it crashed just before the plates fell, but then afterwards, of course, they couldn't actually claim any more plates for themselves. Serenity, meanwhile, down here in the bot lane, do end up trading that 1 for 1, but the first tower extra gold going to Arcana. Made Miss Timo should be perfectly fine. It was a little scary for a second there.
Well, see what Rao can do. Just kind of playing catch up here to the 3-0-0. Static Shift already done. BF Sword also in inventory. So has the Kraken Slayer, but Rao's going to have to play to scale, at least for now. It is Aquatic that we'll have eyes on, especially as the side lanes open up a little bit more. Has the Rift Maker, as you mentioned, should be a pretty potent 1v1 side lane threat for a while. And Arcana are going to have to do something about the dragon stacking. Next one's up in about 4 minutes, so wouldn't be surprised to see Aquatic swap down to the bottom side. Maybe Rao can go ahead and babysit mid. Ikura doesn't have TP up, so it's hard to justify a full swapperoonie. That's the official term of all the lanes right now, but we are going to see some lane reassignments here, trying to make sure the farm is going in the right places, and the Arcana can have pressure around the sides of the map they want. But for now, it is Aquatic heading back towards that top lane. Perhaps the long lane in top feeling a little too spooky. But it looks like Ayakura is going to give up and play with the safety of that Ari ulti. Does have her flash as well. Going to give Ryle the mid lane. But of course, that's where Serenity's duo is. Trying to push down more towers. Can never escape them, man.
And this is the kind of awkward transition between early to mid game, right? Where a lot of teams kind of struggle to know, hey, what do we do for this like kind of awkward 3 to 5 minute period where there's no objectives on the table, right? Like we still have 3 minutes before a dragon and 4 minutes before our Baron spawn, but there's also no pushing waves to actually threaten any tower tanks or anything. So this is definitely another scenario, right, where you get to see coaches shine particularly well at Beef Fish's Burn engage. Not quite there in time, but you got a TP on the top side. Surely hook plus charm lands on a shapeshift. TP coming in just in time.
Oh, Renato.
Massive berserk yet again. Helosi has been on top of these engages. Underneath the turret, though, Shysep cannot last for too long. Does have the W Renata from on them, but does not have enough time to actually regenerate their life. Double kill come back for Arcana, and in the end, I think it's 2 for 3.
Yeah, kind of a spicy team fight there, but a lot of trades back and forth. Dimitri's still alive, though. Ryle trying to find an angle, but they're very persistent about taking this turret as Aquatic. Actually losing the 1v1 to Oriana. That's not something I thought I was going to say. In fact, might have it here. Aquatic can have to dive back in, but that's not going to work out the way you want it to. Have to be very deft on your dodging here, but that is the last Q. Command
Solo
dissonance,
kill.
picking it up. I cannot believe in Oriana just solo to Gwen.
I don't know, but that's impressive. Lucia might not be able to solo these two members on her own, though. Flash over the wall, followed in by Ryle as well. Yuichi not quite in range, is diving right into range right after.
Gotta
Really
feel
nice.
good for Ryle. Has been targeted by these Renata handshakes all game long. Finally gets a bit of revenge,
For
gets the
real.
kill, gets some gold. As Arcana going to try and translate that kill into this Rift Herald. Should be able to grab the Herald for themselves, but let's watch this one again. It was a wild ride we just went on, because that TP is in, but Shirley sees the angle, finds the hook, Charm follows up, and Shapeshift is low, but again, hostile takeover, beautiful ulti, berserks the front line, MP's left for dead, does go down, and now the dive just gets let loose. Ornn dives on in, nice and tanky, Tower's going to take him down, but hey, thinking that's okay, but Yumichi gets stopped by Nautilus, Shapeshift dies despite the flash to the tower hit that's coming in, and that kind of dissipates the dive there. 3 for 2, I believe, was the call you made in the moment. I believe that is what I counted as well in that replay. And as a result, gold is nice and even between these two teams. We look to the Dragons once again. Is Serenity the only ones with a lead we can maybe lean on right now, trying to snowball that soul, which is a mountain for this game.
I think that's the second or third team fight this game where it's been a little confusing about what they're actually fighting for, right? Like, in that team fight, it kind of looked like they were fighting for the mid-outer turret, right? But then it's still standing. In fact, it's still standing more than 50% of his HP, and similar to that of the bot lane fight as well. It's kind of like we're fighting just to fight right now. I'm trying to find where we're trying to fight for. Ayukura does have the Spirit Rush for Charm lands, and LCS is almost just instantly taken out. Shysep as well, really nice horn over the wall. MP cannot make it out alive, and just like that, it's another team fight win for Serenity. But where are they going to turn it this time?
Wait, Renata lives? That's not okay.
That is not okay.
Alrighty then. I thought it was at least a 2 for 1, but no, I kind of get nothing off the back end of that play. Gonna lose the race to Soul Point as well, pretty handily at that. Third Dragon on the board. Mountain Dragon in pocket for Serenity, and a definitely deflected team fight there. I am very curious to rewatch that. I did see Burnout on top of the Renata, but I thought for sure Renata was gonna die.
For real, she definitely had the W on her, but I was like, I guess it was an assist from her ult. I think she dropped the ult almost in her W maybe as well. So something weird happened with her ult.
We're gonna
that
find
got
out
her the
together.
kill.
So here's the beautiful charm. Arcana sees the angle, finds the charm, everyone piles on. W goes in. And we stay alive. Oh, yeah, just the kill. Yes, this was enough. The counter engage there. Really nicely done for Shapeshift and Co. And Yumichi gets MP who dove on in. Again, this Zeri's very strong. Infinity Edge already done. 4-0 and 3, 500 extra gold. Aquatic gonna be in trouble. Gwen is immune!
Gwen is
but I don't think is gonna be able to
Gwen is immune.
dodge her
Gwen
way
is
out of
not
this
immune
one.
anymore.
Yeah, immunity only lasts so long, thankfully. Shapeshift gonna get the kill, but the counterplay is in mid there. Ryle and friends are diving in. Miss Timo gonna be the third! Almost goes down. A sliver of health left to play with. Ayakura can't quite find the last order, and it is indeed a robbery. As we watch this one again. There's the dive in from MP. Finds the angle, finds two in the Cataclysm, and that's easy follow-up there.
Look at that
Nice
shockwave.
ulti there from Shapeshift, but here's the redive, and Miss Timo, just not enough damage. One more missile needed for Acatian Rain. One more auto attack, one more anything. A stiff breeze would have knocked Miss Timo over. Instead, it is just the one kill and no tower to take there in mid lane.
And after all these fights, we're sitting at 16 kills for 20 minutes, which I don't have the exact stats on this, but I'm probably going to go out on a limb here and say probably the highest kills per minute game we've had so far. Don't quote me on that, though. It could be wrong on that. But we do still have most of the objectives very solidly in the favor of Serenity. 3-0 on these dragons. 2,000 gold up that they have maintained for basically the last 20 minutes of this game, right? All the way back from Yumichi getting the initial double kill. Nothing really has gone awry for them overall in terms of this gold lead, and the almost second dragon of the game going over to Arcana. Someone just gotta go sneeze on the dragon, and someone will be able to take that.
Yumichi is about to solo kill the enemy spot. Nope, never mind. Uses the flash instead, but that's a level 12 Zeri. That's a level 9 Nautilus. As Serenity going to use this opportunity to stop Baron. Aikura is going to see what's up. Gets a charm landed, gets some damage onto Heloisa, but we need more than this. Gwen has TP. I think we're going to have an absolute spicer here around the Baron pit. Yumichi, ooh,
7K
that's
left
a flash
on the
you didn't
Baron.
want to have to use.
TP coming in on the top lane there by Aquatic, and in fact, it will just be at the full back away by Serenity. I think they were playing the game of we're going to flank the Baron and try to get the enemy top laner's TP, and that is exactly what they were able to do. With that, they are able to start Baron once again in the same exact scenario anytime in the next couple of minutes and not get another TP from Aquatic.
This time also have to give it the mid outer. Couple minions left. Acatian Ray does not clear them all out. And too strong here. Ryle cannot even 2vx under that fight. With Shirley just behind in the back pocket. So stays around, has to lose the tower. Serenity's kind of slowly but surely getting themselves a lead here in this game. But Arcana are doing the Arcana thing, which is keep fighting until something works out. And to their credit, they are very good at fighting as a team. So they're keeping themselves in this game. Very scrappy, very fun team to watch in that regard. But at some point, the scales are going to tip. And feels like this kind of game where Serenity have enough control is going to be a game that favors the style Serenity has showcased so far this tournament, and especially today. But we'll see. I never count Arcana out. They are a team that just they spin gold out of nothing sometimes.
I would love to hear a mic check or just comms in general from Arcana.
Oh, goodness.
I don't know if it would be like the cleanest comms I've ever heard in my life or just the most chaotic comms I've ever heard in my life, and that's why I'm so curious, because it could literally go either way, and I don't actually know. I want to talk a little bit about how Shapeshift, my goodness, has been quiet, shining knight in armor here for the squad of Serenity, right? She has been real solidly 5-1-3 with the 400 shutdown on her head. Exactly even in CS with MP as well for now. Remember, she had a really tough early game. She got 3 buffed by the J4, right? Like, that was a very difficult place. A lot of solo queue junglers would mentally quit out of the game at that point. She did not. She's still, fighting hard.
Yeah, there's a reason we're doing all this jostling, by the way. There's a dragon up in 8 seconds, and it's a soul for Serenity if they can grab it. So everyone's going to converge here onto the mid lane, try and get some pressure back and forth. And we are going to have a absolute rumble for this dragon, as Serenity are the first ones to get in the river and get themselves some vision.
Fishing for any of these abilities to land. That charm is one of the most important to be watching exactly. This is once again Mountain Soul now for Serenity. Arcana have no choice but to contest, but to fight, but to steal it away. Here comes the Ornhorn. Ronaldo, oh, yet again is absolutely massive, and just the rest of Arcana get absolutely blown up. Shysteps running around with just 1 HP around the backline. You gotta watch out for the killer instinct. Ayukura over the wall, fishing for a way to get back in the team fight. It's just Ayukura and Ryle. They have to steal this away to buy enough time for another dragon, but they don't have a jungler. They don't have a smite. They have to just try and steal it over the wall. Not quite in range. Just like that, it's a 4-0 Mountain Soul for Serenity, and they're looking to take the Baron on top of it.
Extremely close for Ayakura there to stealing that dragon, it looked like, but this team fight just seems untenable. I mean, you're walking into fog, MP is trying to find an angle, and it's just on ult plus Ronaldo ult.
Gwen's
Yeah, sure,
immune.
Gwen's immune, but the rest of the team surely ain't. Shockwave comes through, and then Jerry just pops the ulti and everyone explodes. That's kind of what it felt like as Aquatic is trying to fight. Ayakura is trying to fight. Ryle a little late tries to find the flank, but that assist, despite the killer instinct, means Shystep lives, even though her death I don't think would have meant too much in the grand scheme of things. And that means Dragon Soul, and that means Baron for Serenity in a commanding position to try and win this game, as Ayakura is trying to get an exit kill here, but looks like there isn't one to really find. One more dash left, but Ayakura is just going to give up the ghost.
It's so funny watching these two so different teams play against each other, right? We've been talking about how Arcana has the very fast, very aggressive playstyle. Serenity has somehow turned this game back around to be as slow as they could possibly hope for it to be. That team fight is what I would consider a very slow team fight, in that they forced Arcana back for like the 30 seconds before that team fight started, and that is actually kind of what won Serenity the team fight, right? Like you mentioned in the replay, Arcana was walking with blindfolds on their face, and anytime you have to do that, especially when you know for sure that the enemy team knows you're coming, right? Like, it's a soul fight. They know Arcana is coming, and they also know that Arcana don't know where they're walking. And that is how Serenity can win a team fight before the team fight even starts.
Yeah, Serenity, I think, just continuing to showcase how well they've been coached around objectives. And I think it's extending to more than like showing up on time, which is obviously step one for a lot of teams. For my solo queue teammates, it's honestly the only step, and they continually miss it, but that's okay. We'll talk about that another time here. Ayakura, they're going to go ahead, grab a charm. Hook does connect, though, onto Shapeshift, but don't think they want to follow. Ronaldo ult does get popped here, so there might be something if they have one to re-engage. They have plenty of ultis left, and one or two in fact were burnt by Serenity, but Miss Team are not interested in a team fight. Neither is the rest of the team. We'll happily take the Baron empowered push here instead.
Happily just continue pushing down. You gotta watch the bot lane down there, though. Gwen is immune, but the tower will not be immune. Gwen does take the tower.
Yeah, Kodak doing what she can. This is kind of the thing you have to do as Gwen, is just be a nuisance in a side lane and try and open up space. Preferably you do it when your team's ahead. Unfortunately, that is not a luxury afforded to Arcana this go-around. And especially against Baron, it's going to be made even more difficult. So at least Shystep, with no TP, is being kept busy here. But these two different pockets of side lanes here, the mid and top lane, 3v3 and 1v1, that's kind of happening here between the mid lane for top and the rest of the squad for both sides respectively. Not going to be enough to deter the pushes here. And Aquatic actually might have to run a little bit further away because the collapse is coming. It might take a while. TP is good, but you're going to get that canceled every day of the week. Here we go.
It was a good try from Aquatic, just kind of hoping Shystep
Well,
had the knockup. Not
we're zooming.
off of cooldown. Aquatic did pop the ghost here as well. I don't believe it's going to be enough time to go for an execute, but maybe, I mean, if she's fast enough, just run.
Dash away. I think we're out. Yeah, we're out. Ring around the rosy. Aquatic gets out to safety.
no.
And instead we have an initiation. Shapeshift actually going to be the one caught. That's a good catch to grab. It's a shutdown for Ryle.
500.
Of all people. No objectives up. Oh, Aquatic finally got caught!
Oh
The
my.
execute! Aquatic with the fancy feet gets out of there, and Arcana, they've just fought their way out of this game. Oh, Ryle, what are you doing? Miss Timo finds a beautiful little play. Make it a quick 2 as well. Miss Timo dancing around her enemies.
I can hear the spam things as well. That's so great. So it looks like a 1 for 3, right? But you gotta remember, Aquatic was an execute, and Miss Timo should have died as well, right? So that should have been like a 2 for 3, 2 for 2 kind of situation, right? But I don't know what happened. I can't break that down for you. What I can tell you, though, is we're about to have our first Elder fight here of the LCS Game Changers 2023 season.
Let's
in
go!
90 seconds. First Elder of the, not day, of the whole tournament.
I mean, this just looks so good. This is a great pick. Aquatic's, doing her best to dodge, and I do like the re-engage here, but how do you not get this kill? And then maybe more critically, how do you both die? Yeah, that's the damage. Rabadon's is done for the Orianna. Mistimo just clicks her buttons. I didn't even think she didn't have access to Shockwave. Shystep comes in at the last moment for the heroics, and that one pick and the execute should have been great news for Arcana, who are fighting their way out of this deficit they found themselves in. And then committing on Mistimo just ends up not being the right call. And it cost you 2 kills that you didn't want to give away. And honestly, you couldn't really afford to. Still 5,000 gold down. Still in trouble here with Baron spawning in a minute 20 and our first Elder up in 40 seconds. Arcana, if you were going to show us a miracle, this is going to be the game to do it.
Yes. If there is a win condition to play for, I feel like Elder is definitely that at this point, right? But Arcana have been very hard-pressed to be able to win a strong 5v5, and this Elder is going to be the most important one to win out of any in this game. Charm does land on the shapeshift, but so much healing and so much shielding doesn't actually mean a whole lot. Without much follow-up, Serenity want to get the engage here. And Shystep will be looking to start it up. Knockup does land on Ayukura, but no follow-up initially. Aquatic Walk, gotta watch that Gwen over the wall. She will be immune, but Yumichi's the first one over. There goes the Assassin 80 carry, picking up the 80 carry. Ryle first and foremost. And here comes the rest of the team to follow. Ayukura on the bot side, Aquatic on the top. They will not be alive long enough to tell the story of Arcana, as Serenity are going to be able to pick up the first Elder Dragon of the LCS Game Changers. Yumichi getting an unofficial triple kill, I do believe, is unfortunately it's not going to be an Elder. In fact, this might be the end of the game.
Yeah, unfortunately, the Elder Dragon did spawn, but it's not going to be taken here because the game is over. Mountain Soul Diff is what I'm going to call it in that team fight. I mean, it was already a pick comp versus a team fight comp, so it's going to be hard pressed for Arcana to find purchase on that fight, but they just straight up wallet and face tanked with that Mountain Soul. Plowing through Arcana in that team fight. Serenity looking good. They are going to get some revenge here. Not going to get swept. Going to end the day 3-1 after their 4 games, and Arcana going to split the first of their series here today. Looking good, but the pick comp did not work out that time on kind of the magic sauce on top of that game. It felt like their Shystep finally returning to a champion she'd already played once this tournament, and it looks good here as a very standard but sure thing plays out for Serenity as they find their team fight comp, they find their lead, and they slowly but surely win this game.
Serenity ending their final day of exhibition matches. I'm doing this in my head. 5-7, I think.
Sure.
5-7 at the end of the day here for Serenity. Arcana currently sitting at 4-6. So Arcana have to win at least one game against Astro Cats in the final series of the day, if not 2, to reclaim their title of second over the Serenity squad. And Astro Cats, I think they're mathematically first place. Maybe? I don't think. Yeah, they're mathematically first.
Oh, yes, you're right. Sorry, yes.
Yes.
Because Arcana had to win out, and they had to lose out. So you are correct. We'll have a quick squiz. It's something that happened earlier in the game. We have a replay.
Replay.
Take a look at what happened here. Oh, yes. Oh, this is the last fight of the game. Look at this freaking Mountain Soul. I mean, they're not like that. Not the best Ornament they've ever seen. I'll admit it. I think Shystep will happily admit it too. But they just start fighting, and Yumichi is like taking matters into her own hands. Flashes the incoming CC, eats the Cataclysm, just doesn't care. It just doesn't matter. Shapeshift is hard diving the enemy 80 carries. Inzal showing up pretty big in this game. Shapeshift having an absolutely stellar day overall, I will say. But
Yumichi as well.
The two divers of the squad, the jungler and the 80 carry, just exactly as we drew it up. Absolutely Serenity all over them with this Mountain Soul. I couldn't figure out a Morbius trick. I tried very hard. Couldn't get there.
Serenity, not quite locking second. I was about to say locking second, but almost locking second. The only way they will fall to third again here, unless there's a tiebreaker scenario, is Arcana 2-0ing the Astro Cats. If Arcana 2-0 Astro Cats, then Arcana will be second place. If they 1-1 Astro Cats, then it's going to be a tie between Serenity and Arcana for second. And if they go 0-2, then they're third place. It all comes down to the final series.
Hey, I thought we weren't gonna have many stakes by the end of the day, but I'm happy with that. Very happy
We've got
with that,
all
I
the
will say.
stakes. So do here we have an interview actually with the beautiful top laner Aquatic herself and Ashley King.
Hey, thank you so much, casters, and I am joined by Aquatic, the top laner of Arcana, as they finish off the weekend streak of the game changes. Hey, Aquatic, yeah, that was a bit of a difficult game for you guys, but how are you feeling right now?
It was a tough game, but I'm honestly feeling pretty good. I feel like our progress over the past few weeks has been like monumental, so I'm super confident in our potential still.
Yeah, because, you know, Arcana had like some really confident early games as well as some like very aggressive skirmishes today. You said that the team is making some progress. What are you especially like, you know, happy about the progress that the team has been making?
Yeah, I think all of our players are very good players individually, and I think what we're starting to really get a hang of is knowing how to play like as a unit, playing together, and like having the same plan.
Okay, because like I was recently talking to this teamer who kind of told me something similar in terms of like, you know, getting more aligned with the communication. There were some of the moments where you feel like, okay, we're finally on the same page. We've seen the game the same way. Were there some moments where things felt like it was clicking?
Yeah, no, definitely. I think in our first game, the Baron fight that we had turned on them and then we took Baron after, that was definitely a moment where like we identified like this is a play that we can make, and then we talked about the play and we're like on the same page. We're like talking about how to make the play, and then we execute the play and it worked smoothly. Yeah.
I remember talking to MP in week 1, and he was a bit nervous. They were a bit nervous that it was like the first time that it was very recent that they were joining the team, and then they wanted to get into the teamwork ASAP. How has been your top jungle synergy with your jungler in the team?
I really love playing with MP. They are an amazing jungler, and I think our synergy has really skyrocketed. After like the first like 5-6 games, I really felt like we were on the same page with ganks, and like we're always like really we have the same idea of like when ganks are possible, when are not, and when we're executing them, I feel like we're generally on the same page. So yeah, I love playing with MP. They are great.
Are you excited to play with your teammates in person next week?
I'm really excited. It's definitely an experience that I never foresaw having, but an experience that I'm extraordinarily excited to have. Yeah. It's going to be interesting. Sorry.
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting. I haven't met them in person before, and it's always different talking to people in person versus over Discord. So, yeah.
Yeah. It's like you've been like scrimming and practicing with your teammates for a while. Like, you know, is there like any particular player or a teammate that kind of like surprised you, or like you have a fun episode about perhaps?
Fun episode.
Yeah.
I don't think I have any stories in particular, but definitely Ryle is always a surprise and enjoyment to play with. She is always has something in her back pocket.
Do you think like, you know, having a good like relationship with your teammates in general also helps with the gameplay perhaps? This is something that a lot of players tell me.
Oh, I definitely think it's extremely important. I feel like when you have better relationship with your teammates, you're more comfortable to like talk with your teammates during the game, and you're like start to feel more of like a friendship with them, and then it's just like you can start to build that synergy and that connection, and that allows you to be more on the same page, be more comfortable talking and giving criticism to each other and learning together. So I think it's extremely important.
And I believe that you're currently in Canada, Aquatic, and you'll soon be flying to LA to play the finals weekend in person. What are your general expectations for the weekend other than getting to meet your teammates and coaching staff in person?
I'm looking forward to experiencing the city of LA, but also experiencing like the LCS studio and the stage, and what it's going to be like playing on stage, because it's definitely not going to be the same as playing over the internet.
Would it be your first time playing on the stage?
Oh, definitely, yeah.
Yeah. Have you ever watched like any of the LCS games before? And is there particular like a visual image that you have when you imagine playing on the stage? Because I think many people are excited to see those players who've been only watching online play in person for the first time.
Yeah, so I've performed on stage a lot before. I'm a musician, so I have a lot of experience of being on stage, and like there's nothing ever like the experience, and it always gets me every time, like seeing the like ocean of people in the audience and having this like darkness and the light on you. It's always just this like mystical feeling, almost like you're in this own bubble.
And what would it feel like when you step on the LCS stage for the first time and possibly get to lift up the Game Changers trophy? What would that moment feel like?
It's definitely gonna feel like this, almost like it sounds kind of cheesy, but almost like this magical moment, where like I'm representing, women and marginalized genders in League, and so I feel honored to be able to participate in this.
And we will indeed look forward to seeing you on stage only in a few days. Thank you so much for the interview, Aquatic, and best of luck for the rest of the tournament. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And back to you, casters.
Aww. What a wholesome interview with Iconic.
Yeah, that was really nice.
I'm honored to be here too, Aquatic. I agree.
Yeah, I honestly think this is a great time to kind of just remind people. Aquatic did a good job there, but we can do it again here. I'm like, what are we even doing here, right? Like, yes, we're playing League of Legends, but ultimately LCS Game Changers is a program that's a step towards more women and marginalized genders participating in competitive play. We're trying to showcase the talented players, and let me tell you, we've seen a lot of talented players so far this event of marginalized genders, and help them tell their story, as well as empowering coaches and managers by giving them the resources and tools to succeed, even when it comes to things like making banger social media videos. And if that's not a reminder enough, please follow the orgs on Twitter. They have put real effort, real time into learning how to be better on social media, learning what it's like to run a team, to brand a team, to promote yourself. There's been a lot of cool learnings from this event. That's definitely one of them. You can see their Twitters on your screen right now. Go ahead and follow them. It's free to do so.
You know what's also free is to get free tickets.
Buy nothing.
Exclamation point tickets if you would like to come watch us free in LA. Again, free at the LCS studio next weekend. Free if you would like to come see us.
Yeah, it's free.
I might have mentioned it's actually free if you would like to come get some
tickets. Like me and Soloq, it's free.
I have heard tickets are running out though, so of course there's only one ticket if you want it.
Yeah, just because we ran out doesn't mean they went free. It just means you ran out of free things. So that's not our fault, okay?
That is true. Speaking of teams to watch, though, this is the final team to watch, final series to watch for today, actually. One more bestie two coming at you here, Arcana versus Astrocats. Arcana will single-handedly be determining here who gets second and third based on how the series goes.
Which is great, because I love that we came into top of the day being like, you know what, maybe it's not going to matter that much, we'll have a little more fun, gives it a bit more loose, standings will all be determined, and of course, in saying that, we have cursed ourselves with a great banger best of two to end the day, to give us stakes all the way through to the end before we play in LA. I couldn't really ask for anything better for the final weekend of regular Game Changers play.
Of course, but with that, we do have a couple of minutes before we get to the final game of the day. So grab your snacks, go to the bathroom, come back in a few minutes as we have Arcana versus Astrocats for the final exhibition match here on Game Changers.